Hello and welcome back to Shadow Warrior Wanton Destruction. In the last episode we finished going through the auto factory. We have now found ourselves at Skyline, which seems to be another skyscraper themed level. This is the direction we started facing coming out of the level, so theoretically this would be the elevator I just came out of. That doesn't look like an elevator to me, so I'm not really sure about the continuity between the last level and this current one. But we appear to be on top of something. Maybe we're on top of the elevator for whatever reason.
Tokyo, it's a Saturday night!
Right. Well, moving on. We have a skylight here that appears to be covered up. Doesn't look like I can break down through that. We have a window washer's crane, apparently. And I have to give thanks to the doggo for letting me know that that is not a real window. There's a ladder there that leads down to a ledge, and looks like we could then get up onto. It looks like there's a bit of a platform there, and I see what also appears to be a fake window there. What else am I seeing through the fog? There's the lower part of. Okay, that's the roof of the building across the way. There is a gap. With some boxes and stuff there. We could maybe jump onto that slope, and I see something dodgy about that window right there. And then this of course is our building. I don't see anything tremendously exciting about our building. So we have a couple of options. I'm kind of curious about this one across the way, so let me just do a quick save-a-rooney of a boop. There's only 3 secrets in this one. I missed that line from Lo Wang, but his lines usually aren't all that great, so I'm not that concerned about it. Hi, doggo! Okay, so much for El Doggo. Most of these rooms seem to say do not enter. When has that ever stopped Lo Wang? Okay, that seems to be one of the tougher dudes. Any secrets in here? No. Okay, then let's go down the corridor of mystery. Seems to be a Zilla Enterprises corridor. An elevator, you say? Let's send the elevator up and see if there's anything interesting under it. The answer is no, so let's just ride it up. Okay. Sounds like another arena. Let's send the elevator down and see if there's anything interesting we can access from its roof. Not on that wall. Not on either of those two. We just get pushed back inside. Given that I think this is going to be an arena, let's just switch back to the rocket launcher. Huh. This really does feel like an arena, but again, there doesn't seem to be any sign of someone to fight. Like, I'm hearing lava-y noises. I wonder if this could be the same bug that we saw in the previous skyscraper level, where the bad guy just decided not ever to spawn. Well, let's assume that we have to come back there later instead. We'll give this particular expansion pack the benefit of the doubt yet again. And we'll just go try one of the other routes that we can go here. Let's try this washing platform. So we already took care of the doggo that was here. Okay. Is this going to lead to another arena? It looks like it might. Let's just check out the rest of the lobby first.
I'm running into walls now.
Okay, it doesn't really seem to be anything else here, so I suppose let's do the elevator check. Ow. Nothing under this elevator either. Let me save. See what's out here. Ooh, that's nice. Smoke. Let's see. This looks like another arena. Or should be an arena. Lots of weapons, lots of ammo. Blah blah blah. But again, nothing happening. Okay, well. Let's try route number 3. Okay, let's try jumping over to this building. And then from here I can jump over to the ladder on the other building. Oh, and there's a ladder here too. Oh, interesting. Let's cautiously climb down here. Can I activate this? Is this a lift of any variety? No, and it doesn't seem to let me go anywhere terribly interesting, but we can get back here. That's good to know. Okay. That door does not open. I hear a dude. That's clearly a fake window right there. Is there anything else I can reach on any of these skyscrapers from here? No. Alright, well, let's try this building. It's probably a doggo in here. We're in a warehouse.
Down he is.
Okay. Various stuffs in various places. It's a bit tricky to maneuver in here. Lots of Zilla Enterprises logos and so forth. The missile launcher. Some railgun slugs. Is there anything else in here? There's a door. Apparently. I can find my way to it. It looks like it needs a red keycard to open though. Yep. Red keycard needed for that door. Well, hopefully the fourth and final building will provide us access to that, because if not, I suspect this level is broken just like the other one. So let's jump to the ladder here.
Lo Wang do super kung fu jump.
Wow, I'd hardly call it a super kung fu jump, but yes, you did jump between buildings. Not to take away from your victory here. And the fake window is here.
A Chinese secret.
Oh, it just leads to a secret. Which is disappointing, because that means we're not going to get a keycard this way. And this has warped us back to the start. Right, before I waste any more time, let me go look up this this map online and see if bad guys were supposed to spawn in those 2 arenas. And the answer is yes, indeed. Just like on the previous level, those 2 arenas that we saw are indeed supposed to spawn bosses, and killing one of them will net you the red key card, which allows you to the door in there. But our woes are even worse than that, because not only do these 2 bosses not spawn on anything other than the highest 2 difficulty levels, but the final boss of the game, Master Zilla, also does not spawn. And so you cannot even finish this expansion pack if you are playing on anything other than the highest 2 difficulty levels. On everything else, it's not completable, which I think is bullshit. So I did also see where the final 2 secrets are, so let's go and get those at least. We'll do as much as the game will allow us to do. So I'm going to save before I make this jump. This building here with the window washer crane thing, there's another fake window just there that you can run and jump into, which lets you get into this secret area with some guardian heads. That warps you back up here. And the final secret is apparently over here. We make this jump again, and we go up to the upper ledge, and we go round to the right, and apparently we can jump from here to some other ledge somewhere, but I'm not 100% crystal clear on where that other ledge is. Maybe we can see it on the mini map. Oh, I see, it's just around the corner. Boom. There we go. So let's just get in here. And there's Ripper Hearts and a teleporter that brings us back. So I think I can cheat and show us at least what we would see had we got the red key card. So let me go cheat myself a red key card. Hang on, I need to go look that one up. There we go. Shadow Warrior Gimme gives you all items. So let's go open the red keycard door, if we can make our way around to it. So we get red keycard from one boss, blue keycard from another. We have our elevator to the final arena. And from what I hear, Master Zilla does not spawn. He's got a swanky ass office though. He has to go through a warehouse to get to it, which kind of sucks. So I presume he'd be in the small office. Oh no, wait, there's a ventilation duct. Ah, here's where you'd fight him. Indeed. So right, tell you what I'll do. I will... We've basically finished the game at this point, but just to see the final death animation of Master Zilla, just to put the full cap on it, let me just do a quick save here. I will start a new game, Wanton Destruction. We have to play on either Who Wants Wang or No Pain No Gain. Let's pick Who Wants Wang.
Who wants some Wang?
And we do TSW Trek for Star Trek to teleport ourselves to level, I don't know, what is it? 13? No, that's the train. TSW Trek 14. No, it's not 14. TSW Trek 12. No. It is apparently 20. Okay. We're going to save in a different slot. I'm going to replay through this piece of shit level, and I will take us to when we will be going to battle Zilla. Actually, do you know what? Solid. I'm going to turn on God mode. Hang on. Let me check the code for that one. It is TSW Chan. TSW Gimme. Give me all the weapons. And yeah, let's just go absolutely massacre this level.
Damn, how I do that?
Whoops. I don't think God mode's gonna save me from this. Nah, it did. Okay, well, look. Oh, there's a doggo down here. Right, well, let me go bring us back up to the roof of the building, which I can do with SW, was it Ghost? And we just no-clip back up to the roof. Turn that off again. Let's go try the jump over to here again.
Shit.
Okay, I think you see now why I chose to play on the easiest difficulty level. Like, there wasn't any new content here, but they just multiplied the number of monsters and multiplied the number of hits that they took to take them down. All it does is just slow down the game. It doesn't improve the gameplay in any way, so I made absolutely the right choice by playing on Tiny Grasshopper mode. Let's go massacre this boss. Again, it's not new content, it's just the same old snake boss we've seen 10 million times, including at the end of the previous level. Well, that's him, and it reveals the blue keycard, which we already have. Let's go kick the other boss's ass. Okay, yep, and it's the sumo dude, because there's only 2 bosses in the game that they just repeat over and over again. So that is the end of him, which gives us the red key card. Okay, we're on our way up to Zilla's office. He's already whispering at us. There is a secretary that wasn't here the last time, so that's new. I'm only assuming she's a secretary because she's holding a file folder in her hand, and she's in the ante-room to his office. Just to be clear, so let's go have a look at Zilla. Time to die, little Wang. Well, he looks pretty much the same as he did in the first episode. I think that might be... that red patch in the middle might be actually him, and he's just in a giant mecha suit. It's a bit hard to make out. Anyway, let's massacre him. Do we get an animation? Lo Wang examines the bloody remains of Zilla, hoping his dominion has ended for good. Time for a quick getaway as Lo Wang descends to safety from the high rooftops. Lo Wang hops a flight back to America, but can't help feeling he's being followed. Back to San Francisco for a long-delayed visit with the relatives. That night, back in his hotel room, the shadowy presence trailing him finally reveals itself.
Why does thinking about sex make me want to crap?
Oh no! Skyline completed, your time. Whatever, who cares at this point in this game? Oh dear.
Oh, after all that work,
Oh no.
like a song. Who wants some Wang?
Let's not hear this again. So, I had actually, I knew that the end of this game was coming up, and so I actually kind of pre-wrote some, just my final thoughts on the game. At the time, I did not know how horribly broken the very last episode of that expansion pack, admittedly expansion pack, not the base game, is, but it has soured me somewhat further than I kind of somewhat already was. But anyway, let me go through kind of my thoughts on the game. It was okay, I guess. I suppose let me start off by kind of talking about what I liked. Personally, I'm a fan of the build engine. I think it's absolutely amazing to realize that everything that you saw on screen during this game was entirely 2D. This was before, like the build engine does not have polygons in it or anything like that. There's no 3D space stuff going on whatsoever. It's all 2D stuff that's being faked to look 3D, and it does it in a way that actually makes it look like a very rudimentary 3D engine. Like, I think it's amazing. Like, they get lighting and transparent textures and sloped surfaces and room over room setups, voxel objects, all kinds of really, really cool stuff. Like, sure enough, it's pixelated, it's 256 color, there's no actual perspective, so you get that like vomit inducing effect when you look up and down. So technology wise, it doesn't even begin to match up with anything that we have these days. But ultimately, an engine, I think, is there in support of being able to tell a story through a game. And I think the build engine is more than capable of doing enough to support some fairly complex stories. Also, there is a bit of nostalgia goggles going on. I kind of grew up with the build engine per se. I was in secondary school or high school, whatever you want to call it, when Duke Nukem 3D came out. So as a teenager, I was a perfect target demographic for Duke Nukem 3D, and of course the build engine was a big part of that. So generally speaking, I'm all here for the build engine. Some of the levels in the main game and in both expansion campaigns were good fun. I liked Master Leap's Temple from the Shareware campaign, Zilla's Villa from the Redshirt campaign, the Fortress from Twin Dragon, and particularly Monastery from Wanton Destruction. Those were some standout levels for me, especially Monastery. Like the level of detail in that was just amazing. Like I don't think I've ever seen a build level as expertly crafted as that. I think there were a good mix of locales on display. Like, you had urban areas, you had natural environments, you had like airplanes that like moved through the air and crashed and so forth. Like, there was a good mix there. The main campaign was about the right length, I think. This game was released in 1997, so we were just kind of starting to come out of the previous, like the early to mid 90s era, where most first-person shooter type games would have had campaigns that were maybe 8 to 9 levels long. But you know, this game came out that little bit later. People were starting to get used to the idea that, hey, maybe games shouldn't be over in 8 or 9 levels. Maybe there should be a bit more content in them. So I think the main campaign was about the right length. Any shorter and it would have felt like a bit of a swizz. Any longer and it would have really started to drag, I think. So that's, unfortunately, that's pretty much it for what I liked about the game. There was plenty I didn't like. Let me address the main thing first, which is that I straight up think the whole stereotypical 1970s kung fu action movie thing has aged really badly. Like, I know they were just playing it for laughs and that kind of thing, but to me, playing it in 2018, it just feels borderline racist. I was somewhat uncomfortable through the entire game. I didn't think Lo Wang was a particularly likable character. He had a voice, at least, I suppose, which is maybe better than a lot of the kind of previous generation of first-person shooters that just had like silent protagonists. But when we did hear his voice, I didn't particularly like him. I didn't think his jokes or his comments were funny. He didn't really do anything for me. I don't think the weapons were particularly well balanced. The shotgun, the riot gun, was clearly the best overall damage for ammo gun in the game, with the railgun making a great sniper for longer range stuff, and the sword useful for ammo-free close encounters that didn't particularly require aiming. The rest of the weapons were kind of pointless outside of boss fights. Your fists were pointless entirely. The ninja stars were offset from the crosshairs and so were difficult to aim, and they consumed 3 ammo per shot. The Uzis didn't do a lot of damage and chewed through their ammo. The grenade launcher was too unpredictable in terms of the direction its projectiles would bounce to be useful outside of special situations. The rocket launcher was only really good for arena fights, like we just saw there in the last level. It was a suicidal weapon to use in kind of more close quarters combat, which a lot of the rest of the game was. Sticky mines were as much of a threat to Lo Wang as they were to his enemies. The guardian heads, the green heads that spat fire, they just felt ineffective to me. They didn't really feel like they did a whole lot. And the Ripper Hearts, which created like a kind of a shadowy copy of Lo Wang, didn't work half the time I used them. Either the shadowy copy of Lo Wang wouldn't spawn at all, or he'd spawn, maybe take out one enemy and then just like stand around doing nothing. There wasn't nearly enough variation in the enemy types. It was just the same 4 or 5 types over and over and over and over again. And then the 2 boss types that they just kept throwing out randomly wherever they're like, oh crap, we've already used the 4 other enemy types, better throw in one of the bosses. The levels themselves and their themes also felt repetitive once you got into the expansion packs. And I know that's not really the fault of the main game, but like, it seemed like every expansion had its monastery type level. Every expansion had its, you know, car industry level. Like, I don't know. It started to like feel like I'd seen everything already before. It got to be a real slog getting through the end of Wanton Destruction, I have to say. So if anybody was going to play this game now, having watched it, I would say stick with the main campaign, skip the expansions. There's not really anything in the expansions you're going to see that you didn't see in the main campaign. Except in Wanton Destruction, which had a few reskins of some of the enemies, and I say few. I think there was maybe one reskin, the wizard guy replacing the green guardian dude, and a few kind of like wall textures and stuff to support some of the level designs, and that would be about it. Also, the game was buggy. It's not the worst game I've ever seen, but like there was plenty of times that you saw me like just getting randomly killed by walking into a piece of geometry that hadn't been quality assured and just instant death. And I had a few crash to DOS incidents as well, mostly using the grenade launcher. There does seem to be something about the mathematics that they were doing for the arc of its projectile or whatever. There were plenty of times where I'd fire it, the projectile would hit the wall and burk, crash to DOS. So that was kind of weak. So on the whole, where do I stand? I would say it was interesting to see more so from a historical perspective. It's a build engine game that I've never played before. And it was interesting to see it just personally, just to see another build engine game, because I do quite like the build engine. The main campaign was all right. The expansions were a slog. I had high hopes for Wanton Destruction because it started off with 2 really strong levels, I thought. But after the monastery level, which is absolutely the pinnacle of anything Shadow Warrior related as far as I'm concerned, it just went downhill into poorly tested generic Slogotron stuff after that. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad now that we've reached the end of our Shadow Warrior Let's Play. And on that note, it's time to truly put this one to bed and move on to our game ranking for it. So, did I enjoy Shadow Warrior Classic Complete more than or less than Darkfall the Journal? Honestly, overall, less than. I had more fun with Darkfall. It was equally low quality, I suppose, in some ways, but it was more internally fun than Shadow Warrior, which just turned into a bit of a slog, unfortunately. More than or less than Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. Dragon Rising was a bit of a slog in its own way, and I was shocked to find that for a relatively modern commercial release, it only had 11 missions in it. If Shadow Warrior had only had 11 missions in it total, it probably would have been a better game for it. I'm going to say I enjoyed Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising a bit more than Shadow Warrior. Flashpoint had its own horrific bugs in it. Like, I seem to remember there were definitely some levels of rage-inducing BS that went on in Operation Flashpoint. But at least it made me feel something. Shadow Warrior was just a bit eh. So I'm going to say less than. Did I enjoy it less than or more than Biomenace? They're all very different kinds of games. If I'm thinking about the two of them now, I'm having fonder memories in my heart of Biomenace than I have of what I've just gone through with Shadow Warrior, so I'm going to say less than. Sorry, Shadow Warrior. Did I enjoy it more than or less than Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare? I enjoyed it more than Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I really did not care for COD 4 at all. And that is the end of it. And so our final ranking table is... It takes second last place, just above Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. I'm sorry, Shadow Warrior, you were okay, but yeah, I'm glad to see the back of you. Let's put it like that. So there we have it, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time on Von Millhausen Plays when we choose a new game to play.